Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Kintyre Holdings says it has secured approvals for the chalet, its residential development planned for Bengal Beach in Discovery Bay, St. Anne. The approval clears the way for the project to move into the construction phase. The company says approvals have been granted by NEPA, the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, and other regulatory bodies, marking a major milestone that positions the project as fully approved and ready for execution. The development was originally approved in 2022 for 8 units, but after raising additional capital, Kintyre submitted plans for an expanded 26-unit project. The approved mix includes 16 one-bedroom and 10 two-bedroom residences. Set above the coastline at Bengal Beach, the chalet will offer private beach access and panoramic ocean views and is being positioned as a destination-style lifestyle development. The project cost is approximately 900 million Jamaican dollars, or about 5.8 million US dollars. The parliamentary opposition has taken issue with some of the proposed changes to the Financial Investigations Division (FID) Act to govern how information is shared with other entities. Despite the concerns, the act was passed this week in the lower house. The FID, which investigates financial crimes, has to keep up with the standards outlined by regional and international partners. Finance Minister Favour Williams gave the main reason for amending the legislation.
To ensure that the FID exchanges information with its regulatory and investigative counterpart in an independent manner necessary to carry out investigations, while at the same time ensuring that the proper protocols and accountability are in place for such disclosures.
The opposition in principle agreed on the need to make the FID more independent. However, it took issue with the language used in the bill. For example, allowing information to be shared to enforce laws administered by the FID.
It isn't clear to me what laws are administered by the FID. The FID might be wishing to investigate a matter and have jurisdiction to do so under the FID Act and the scope of it. But it couldn't be said that the law that is engaged in that investigation is a law that's administered by the division. So if the scope is too narrow or is unclear, it could be problematic. It could be contested in court, for example.
In the meantime, MP for South Manchester Peter Bunting was concerned about a section of the bill which requires that information sharing arrangements be consistent with government policy.
Any minister can then write a letter to the head of the FID and say, for example, it is government policy that you don't share information on cabinet ministers. And would that now be government policy? It would not be public, it would not be transparent. So I don't believe that this corrects the mischief that Section 4 is trying to address. In fact, it makes it worse.
The reference to government policy is tied back to concerning the exchange of information of the kind contained in the disclosure, and so it is not left at large.
There's a process by which government policy is made, and when you consider the current situation that the Chief Technical Director has to ask the Minister every time for permission, this is not in keeping, and it's not in keeping with international standards.
The Finance Minister says it puts Jamaica's mutual evaluation at risk, and another is coming up this. To the stock market now, the JSE index advanced by 1,868 points today, while the junior market index advanced by 54 points. The winners were led by Knutsford Express, Mayberry Jamaican Equities, Blue Power Group, Caribbean Cream, and Derrimon Trading. The losers included Margaritaville Turks US dollar shares, Pulse Investments, Radio Jamaica, Proven Group US dollar shares and Cygnus Credit Investments 8% preference shares. 23 stocks traded firm. And up to news time, switching to another story. Right, and up to news time, the Bank of Jamaica did not publish today's foreign exchange rates. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.